Let's jump into some terminology here. There's a lot of it. This is just scratching the surface, I'm sure. Let's walk through this one.
So alternate work site, being able to go to another facility if your building or facility is damaged or basically can't be occupied. Business continuity and plan, we've talked to that. The business impact analysis, we've talked about it. The business interruption in an event, whether anticipated, such as hurricanes, if you end up getting a tornado, or unanticipated, you get some kind of a utility outage or an attack which disrupts the normal course of operation. Being able to have a plan that, depending on what it is, if you know it's coming or not coming, you can basically put your plan into place and activate it. Crisis, unexpected, complex event, which has the potential to impact your organization, requires senior management engagement. Crisis management, the proactive operating capability to respond and recover from an event or a series of events which can negatively threaten your organization. Crisis management, one of the tools that seems to be very, very popular is something as simple as pre-written scripts, being able to say, because the chances are is that certain executives are going to be in front of a camera, to be able to write out that this event, tornado impacted, be able to write in how many customers are out of lights, how much resources has been engaged in the restoration, when the estimated restoration date is and time. So we've taken the steps to even go to that level. Enterprise resiliency. When you take a look at that life cycle and you have mitigation, and all of a sudden the organization and through training becomes more resilient, being able to be competent of being able to react and respond. And then you have another round of the cycle where, again, more mitigation ideas, more money spent, and then the ability for more personnel to be more comfortable with their ability to contribute. Again, an organization becomes more and more resilient. And what you start seeing is you start seeing faster recovery times. And what's the impact to the community? If, for instance, a utility can um, be more resilient and recover quicker, what does that do? If it's an electric company, that means Army Corps of Engineer doesn't have to bring 100 generators and scatter them all across the community to keep critical infrastructure running. If it's a water plant, all of a sudden truckloads and truckloads of water don't have to be brought to the community because the water plant is up and running and contributes to the recovery. So there's a lot of cascading impact. Essential business functions, being able to identify what truly is a critical business process or function in your organization. And there are going to be times where individuals are going to have to be told and going to have to accept that, although it is important, it's not an essential business function, and resources need to be focused on other areas. Uh, Different than a crisis, an incident is a localized event that has limited impact, and using established protocols do not need to involve senior management. So a crisis, a tornado touchdown, and impacts an area. An incident, a drunk driver drives off the road and drives through the fence, and is really no danger to the organization. Risk assessment, we talked about that, and then succession planning. So you have individuals that have certain roles, including the C-suite. Um, who takes that responsibility? If the CEO is in another country and you can't get a hold of that individual, um, who is going to step in? Who is going to be able to come in there, be able to have the authority per the business continuity plan to make the same decisions and be able to ensure that mandated decisions are made, and also responsibility. And that goes for critical staff throughout the organization. And how deep do you want to go? I've seen organizations that have identified key staff, and they had some very basic rule. Each one was three deep. So you had the main person, the alternate, and then a backup. No two individuals can be unavailable at any one time. So you have to schedule vacations between those individuals. Another area may be the fact that they have to receive specific training. They have to have specific clearances, or board of directors have to give them certain temporary responsibilities, and there's a process for that. So the fact is, succession planning is something that is critical. I've also seen failures where you turn around and because um, Bill or Nancy are so well versed, they're sitting in a couple different backup positions, and all of a sudden, two positions need a backup, and that individual is being called to serve in both. So one of the rules I've seen is that if you're in a backup position, you can only be in a backup position for one position. Somebody also have to be selected and trained for the other.